Okay, YouTube, got the battery charged up 31.6 amp hours and took just right at 5 hours. So now we have to get the battery unplugged from the charger, and actually I've got to unplug my charger because it's plugged into my last battery connection port. So I will do that and we'll go over and take a look at that. Okay, so we have right about the same voltage on the battery bank over here. And I've moved the new battery right over here on top. So I'm thinking this is probably how I'm going to set these up in my shed. I'm going to build shelves that'll hold two batteries high, and then I'll have a connector block down here where I can plug in 4 batteries into a single cable, and then I have this cable here running up to my charge controller that'll eventually go to a power bus. Let's get this guy plugged in here. There we go. So now we've got 2 kilowatt hours. So these are the 2 used battery packs, and then these are the 2 new ones. So I've got a kilowatt hour of each. The next thing I got to do is I need to build up some more balance cables. I just have the one balance cable down here. I've got to make up another batch of balance cables, hook those up. Yeah, so here we've got the charge controller. I have some breaker switches, PV panel connections there. Right now I have 2 335 watt panels hooked up on the input, and then I've got my batteries in there, so that's about 130 amp hours or 2 kilowatt hours. And then I've got my DC load running right there. We're putting 120 watts into the load, and we're pulling 140 watts in from the panels. It's about 3:30, quarter to 4 in the afternoon, so we're kind of on the last bit of solar. 16 volts on the battery. Still charging the battery and running the load. Once the sun drops off, I keep running the load for about 2 extra hours, but I think I'm going to bump this up. Since I have more battery capacity now, I can probably run this DC load a little bit longer before I shut it off, and then I can turn it on a little bit earlier in the morning. So I think I'm going to try adding an hour at the end of the day and an hour at the beginning of the day. So the shadows just came up on the solar panels. We're starting to lose power. So we're actually discharging the 4 batteries right now, pulling about 1.4 amps, because the DC load will stay at about 7.5 until it shuts off. So by another hour we'll be pulling 7.5 amps out of the batteries, and that'll go on for another hour after that. That battery is running down there. Yeah, we're pulling a little bit of voltage out, 15.8. Now this is one of my used cells. This was the first battery I built, and I have not balance charged that for probably a good 6 months, and we're staying within 35-40 millivolts. This first pack of the new cells I built is closer to like 20 or 25 millivolts balance. These are balanced to within about 0.1%. These are balanced to within about 3% of each other. 1584, and that'll get down to about 15 volts by tomorrow when the sun comes up again. So now I have 3 more of those to build. I got to build another cable, a bunch more balance cables. The one thing I do like about these is once you get 4 modules put together, that's 80 cells, you can put it online and start using it. So my intermediate goal is to have 5 of these new cell packs, 5 of the used cell packs, and that'll give me about 5 kilowatt hours. And you can see, yeah, we've pulled the voltage down. It's down to 15.81 now. But anyway, I'll keep an eye on this new battery, make sure it's happy in there and not having any trouble. So yeah, if you have any questions, post up in the comment section below. I'll put some follow-up videos over here on the left side you might be interested in. And as always, thanks for watching.